Speaker.
For also, and the Speaker for giving us this opportunity. Sir, this has been a very, very difficult 22 months for everybody. I don't think whether you're on this side or that side. I think this war is against the virus. It's not about UPA versus ND or any company. And I appreciate the thought that Mr. Rudy and Mr. Dubey did bring out the essence of the debate, as when India's parliament has shown exemplary examples, especially he mentioned late C. Sushma Swaraj. I have also seen her closely debating, and they really took the entire parliament debate to a level which was absolutely something that we learned, and we learned to aspire to copy them and complement that debate. So I appreciate everything that he said about complementing. But in one of the statements that he made, he said health is a state subject. We are all aware it's a state subject. But at the same time, it would have been much nicer if the states and the center worked closer together. This was not y'all versus us. It was all of us together versus the virus. And for some reason, I think he was quite offended by a statement made by my colleague Amal Kole, which I respect that he was hurt. But my only suggestion to him was, and we can still correct it, that if we are going 50-50 with the cost of the vaccinations, then if the Honorable Prime Minister's photograph is on the vaccination chart, why not any government put their Chief Minister's photograph also on the chart? We are very proud of what Shri Uddhav Thackeray ji, Shri Ajit Pawar and Balasaheb Thorat have put together in Maharashtra. And Maharashtra has really performed exemplary. We've had very, very challenging times. And Mr. Rahul Shewale, who is sitting here, I'm glad he's in the house, because I would like to add one more thing to his, to everything that he had about the Dharavi model. And probably very unknowingly, he slipped a point, and I'm lucky he didn't mention it because I can mention it. हमारे यहाँ काफ़ी हम लोग खरीदने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. We are trying to buy, but the states are implementing it also. We are happy to buy. You heard what he said. I'm not yielding anyway. So. No, we have also. Upon application the केलं ना. We went for global tenders, but because of no support from the central government, we could not. We did tender on our own, and the states have substantially contributed in this COVID. It's not that only central government has done all the work. States also have done. The entire state health infrastructure has made sure. मैं आप कभी किसी को नहीं टोकती. आपको बोलना है तो आप बोल लीजिए.
No, you can. Yes.
I never heckle. I've been in parliament for 15 years. I never heckle everybody. So my only request is that the states, if you are taking credit for everybody, the implementing body in every state are the state workers. Central government doesn't do it, the states do it. And people have done exceptionally, even in our state, vaccination. We have never complained about vaccination with the central government because the vaccine, fortunately, is also made in our state, and we take great pride in saying that Serum Institute is in Pune from the district that I come from, and they have saved many, many lives and people from it. So we have great pride in all the vaccines that are made in India. But what I was mentioning earlier, before Mr. Dubey intervened, the thing that in the Dharavi model, I would definitely like to mention the contribution, of course, under the leadership of Mr. Uddhav Thackeray, Ajit Pawar and Balasaheb Thorat, but with it, the contribution of Mr. Iqbal Chahal. I would like to bring it on the table that the entire MGM and Mr. Chahal, for the reason I feel it's important, that we must encourage people who are not really seen. We as politicians get visibility here, and other people do get, but there is a huge administration which has worked relentlessly for this. So I think I would like to bring this to the notice in a minute, sir, that on 5th of May, the bench of the Supreme Court of India, headed by Justice Chandrachud, praised the corporation work under the leadership, of course, of Mr. Thackeray, but Mr. Chahal as the Municipal Commissioner of Greater Mumbai, and has said that this is an unprecedented thing that an IAS officer was actually praised by the Honorable Supreme Court. So I think I would like to put it on the table that Mr. Chahal's contribution has been exemplary, and one of the reasons Mumbai has done well is he and his entire team under the leadership of Mr. Thackeray has done. There are many benches that he have done. He has got awards not only in India, but even I would thank even the Honorable Finance Minister, because she also was at an event, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, and she also praised Mr. Chahal's work. So this is one of the success stories in Maharashtra, and subsequently Astik Pandey, even Aurangabad. which has really had very, very challenging times, has come with a lot of very good solutions, which I would like to offer all these put together. We've written to the Honorable Health Minister for testing and all these things that we have done, have given very, very good replies. What they have done, sir, is ward-level war rooms, integrated hospital bed management through electronic dashboards, individual screening doctors. They've prioritized treatment. They have done outstanding oxygen supply management, which also Mr. Rahul said, but I would like to add it with Government of India, which even Mr. Rudy mentioned about outstanding oxygen supply management in India. CSR has contributed substantially. There's a lot of industry has helped us, and I take this opportunity to even thank the industry. But to that, I would like to ask the Honorable Health Minister as a question that you started there was the Prime Minister's Relief Fund, and then they started also another fund, which was the PM Cares Fund. So are they integrated? And I know your government is very proud of our transparency, and I welcome it. It's lovely to be transparent in life. So, and in administration, even better. So if you would kindly tell us that how is this money spent, not out of suspicion, but out as how better can we work, that you may want to spend a certain amount of PM's care, which may not be needed by states. And how have you distributed in states? Because every state has contributed to the PM Care Fund. So if you can bring it with transparency, it would be much appreciated if you could kindly tell us that. Besides this, I would like to also ask, a lot of debates have been happening on the vaccination. There is another comment about genome sequencing, which even Asad Bhai brought, and I would like to quote the Honorable Minister. The Honorable Health Minister, Mandavia ji, said on the November 30th, that we would immediate checking suspicious cases and conduct a genome sequencing, is what you mentioned. So, sir, what is the outcome? Because even our state is doing, because NIV, which was the first National Institute of Virology, is also fortunately in Pune, where I come from. So are you working closer? I think we are all anxiously waiting, because that's really going to depend on the future roadmap of what we will all achieve. So what is the guidelines, is what, since you have made the statement, if you could kindly tell us what it is. The other thing that I would like to bring to the Honorable Minister's notice is what is about the third dose, which is also anxiety. I think Rajesh Tope, my colleague, who has been in concern, and I must thank the Honorable Minister. He's been very kind with his time in indulging our ministers. So what is your stand on the third dose, which even Saugata Royji mentioned? Because we all have aging parents, families, health workers who are leading from the front. They all are anxious because there's no clarity. And what is a booster dose is also a confusion. A lot of people feel booster dose is something completely different, which is called a booster dose, which is not the case. What little that I understand, the third dose is exactly just like you take the first dose, the second dose, it's the third dose, but people are calling the booster dose. So there is some sort of a confusion. So if ICMR and the ministry could clarify what is the stand on it, it would be very, very kind of you. And the skilling, reskilling and upskilling, which also Asad Bhai talked about skilling, I would say that we need skilling, we need reskilling, and we need upskilling. These are three levels, because technology, after yesterday's ATR bill, you know how technology is changing so fast, I think, in science. So I think that's something we all really need to look about. Anganwadi, Asha workers, all these people. I will just finish this. I know I'm really indulging. I just want to have one last question, sir. That a lot of times it gives you a lot of pain, actually, whenever they say 70 saal mein kya kiya. So I really felt, I went to check that there are three companies which vaccination you're all praising. Is Serum Institute, Bharat Biotech, and the third one is Zydus Cadila. Zydus Cadila is a company in Ahmedabad, which was formed in 1952. There is Serum Institute in Pune, 1966, and Bharat Biotech in 1996, Serum Institute, 1966. These are all companies which have made vaccines, and today जो भी बचे हैं वो इन्हीं तारों, अभी कैडिला का आ रहा है, आपको ज़्यादा पता होगा क्योंकि आप उसी स्टेट से आते हैं, Zydus Cadila की कंपनी है. But there is a small thing which my colleague Dr. Kalanidhi from North, I don't know if he's in the house right now, from North Chennai, who brought it to my notice. There is a integrated vaccine complex near Chennai. It's called HBL, it's IVC. Now, in 2012, this was made, and from 2012 to 2017, 600 crores was invested in it. And after that, 300 crores is required, and this is which is made by the government. It's a government organization. If they can make 10 crore vaccines every month. Now, if 600 crores more is already given, 50 crore rupees is anyway spent even if they are not operational. Now, when private companies are doing, I have no problem with the photograph, because for me right now the photograph is not important. For me, the vaccine and saving his life is important. So I'm not getting into the argument of that. But when the government constantly says we created the vaccine, here there are 3 private companies who last 30, 40, 50 years have contributed India's. And not only to this vaccines, they have Serum Institute makes vaccines for children. Out of every 5 children in the world, all 3 children are vaccinated by the serum vaccine. This is a very serious issue. So I request the Honorable Minister that since you have so much money, I think this integrated vaccine complex in Tamil Nadu, and I think the Honorable CM of Tamil Nadu did come and meet the Prime Minister. He has requested to give this 50 crores. I think if 10 crore vaccines can be made in a month, this is a very, very important juncture. So I urge you to look into this. And if any help for all the success stories we've had in Maharashtra, if there's anything more we can do to work together to make and fight this war against this virus, where we are not against you, we are with you to fight the virus. We are on the same side as you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Dr. Hridesh Pandey. Yes. Honorable Minister,
सर अभी
please.
7:30 अबव हुआ है.
Yeah.
मुझे लगता है कि डिबेट लंबी चलेगी. सभी सम्मानीय सदस्यों के लिए भोजन का प्रबंध हो, ऐसी मेरी आपसे रिक्वेस्ट है.
ठीक है. Okay. Chair Dr. Hridesh Pandey.
धन्यवाद अधिष्ठाता महोदय. आपने मुझे कोविड महामारी पर से उत्पन्न हुई चर्चा पे